going to read the chapter Developing Potential from the book The Magic of Love. With winter over, Dadi returned to her home in the hills. Tarini and Veer were sorry to see her go, but consoled themselves with the thought that come next winter she'll be back to embrace them once again with her loving presence. After Dadi left, life for the family gradually resumed its old routine. One fine spring day, Veer's class went on an excursion to the city planetarium. Upon returning home after the excursion, Veer was unusually pensive and quiet. "How was your trip to the planetarium?" Dad asked when the family sat down to dinner. "Oh, it was awesome, Dad, but..." Veer's voice dropped. "But?" Dad prodded. "After we came out of the planetarium, I was thinking that the universe is so vast with all those galaxies, solar systems, stars, planets, and amongst them our Earth, so small in comparison, and an I and all that, even tinier than a speck, so insignificant and powerless," Veer ended despondently. Mom and Tarini exchanged glances. Veer pondering such weighty issues? They smiled fondly at the thought of Veer's growing maturity. Dad too was happily surprised by Veer's thought process. He delighted in unexpected flashes of his children's intelligence. He looked at Veer with pride and said, "A speck, yes, but neither insignificant nor powerless." When Veer looked at him with questioning eyes, he started to explain. "You know the tree in our front yard?" "Yeah," Veer nodded, the question still in his eyes. "Can you imagine that it was once just a tiny seed? Notice how powerful a seed really is. It contains all the properties of a tree and has inherent potential to become one. And you are like that seed. You are a spark of the same energy that has created this whole world. Can you imagine that?" Dad spoke with enthusiasm. Veer immediately became interested, wanting to know more. "It means that like the seed, you also have inherent potential to achieve whatever your heart desires," Dad spoke with aplomb. Dad's enthusiasm was infectious. Veer's eyes shone. Tarini, who had also been listening with interest, now added, "How do we recognize our potential, Dad?" "Your inborn talents, things that you are naturally good at, reflect your potential, as do your deepest desires." Veer perked up. "Like sports, you always say I'm naturally good at soccer and math too," Tarini interjected. "Math comes naturally to you." "Well, I struggle with it," she added ruefully. "You have other talents, Taru," Mom interjected. "That's right," Dad nodded. "We all have talents and tendencies that are unique to us, some of which become evident in childhood, while others unfold gradually over time. If you want to develop your potential, you need to give full expression to your talents and keep honing your skills. Then there's no limit to what you can do if you set your mind to it. All depends on your desires, of course, on what it is that you really want to achieve in life." Veer was thoughtful, then spoke up hesitating. "Well, I really want to break my high jump record, but so far I haven't succeeded," he lamented, making a face. "What's your current record?" Dad asked. 4 feet 11 inches. "And your goal?" 5 maybe, Veer said tentatively. "Okay, but don't be tentative about it. Be very determined and firm in your intentions," Dad said emphatically. "Look, here's how it works. First, be very clear and specific about what you want. Something that you want with all your heart. Then believe without a doubt that you can achieve it. Now, do you believe that you can break your record?" Veer hesitated. It is imperative that you eliminate that doubt," Dad said firmly. "Develop a strong conviction that you will achieve the goal you set for yourself." Both Veer and Tarini asked simultaneously, "How?" "By thinking like a winner," Dad replied. "Start by considering your goal as fate accomplished. Something that is already achieved and now just needs to be manifested in reality. So, can you imagine yourself jumping 5 feet? "Oh yes," Veer replied, now strong and confident. "Good. Before going to sleep and as soon as you wake up in the morning, spend a couple of minutes visualizing yourself clearing the bar at 5 feet. Vividly imagine how it would feel when that happens. What would you see? What would you hear at the time? Create the scene very clearly in your mind." "Wow, exciting," Tarini exclaimed. "Yeah, I can imagine it already," Veer laughed. "It is called neuro-linguistic programming," Dad smiled. "You program your subconscious mind to create the reality that you desire. When you use all your senses to vividly imagine an outcome, your mind starts believing it as fact. It becomes easier then to recreate it in your external reality." "That's exactly what I do when I paint, Dad, Dharini said excitedly. I see the complete picture vividly in my head before I actually start to paint and then just reproduce it on canvas. Exactly. But there's one more thing. Visualization and conviction alone are not enough to succeed. They're essential, but are only the initial steps in the process. They must be followed by action. Otherwise, your goal will just remain as an idea in your own head. Right action is therefore indispensable, which in your case, my boy, means intense practice. Daily, that poked clear reflection. Right, I understand. I'll start practicing earnestly from tomorrow, we promised. True to his word, he followed Dad's advice faithfully. Morning, night, noon. Whenever he was by himself, he used all his senses to visualize jumping the bar at 5 feet. He also remembered Dadi's advice and formulated positive affirmations such as, I easily jump and clear the 5 feet high bar, repeating it silently with intense conviction as often as he could. When he next went to the field to practice, his heart was thumping in anticipation. Every cell in his body was charged with excitement as he prepared to sprint. He closed his eyes momentarily, feeling the adrenaline rushing through his veins. Then he ran, jumped, and easily sailed over the bar, landing neatly on the other side. Whoa, I did it, he laughed as he got back on his feet. Wish Dad could see me now. Feeling every inch a winner, he ran back joyfully to the starting point, all set to jump again. Maybe even higher this time. The thought made him smile. Yes, anything is possible if I set my mind to it. He thought of Dad's words with renewed inspiration. Like the wind, he ran again, his eyes set with single-pointed attention on the high bar. Like a flash, he rose, swiftly cleared the bar, and descended on the other side with seemingly no effort at all.